Welcome back to What If I Was Reincarnated as Goku. I'm enjoying this series. Hope you're enjoying it too. With all being said, let's get to it. Years would pass since we defeated Trunks. Cell would become our friend, and we would train with him quite regularly. Vegeta never gave up fighting, and he enjoyed fighting us. And everyone began to settle into their own lives. Nappa and Raditz found peace. Nappa was too old to find a family, but he would wish to stop aging with the Dragon Balls, just to stick around. He liked being a loner, though. However, Raditz would track down Launch, since we all kind of forgot about her, and marry her, just like Masako said that one time. As everything seemed peaceful, eventually, however, I knew that Majin Buu would arrive. But I wasn't really that worried. After all, I got Cell, perfect Cell, who's gotten pretty strong. Since he didn't start out perfect and had to train his way to it, and since I don't want to be too overpowered, let's be honest, he wasn't super powerful. He didn't unlock any gold for him or anything like that, but he was still pretty strong, and I assumed he'd be more enough to fight Buu, even if he was brought back, which most likely he probably won't be brought back. I mean, I'll try to make it happen, but I don't think he will be. As we were all getting ready for a tournament, I was waiting for someone to stab Gohan, but something weird happened. The tournament wasn't interrupted. It continued going, as eventually I was set to fight Gohan, and Shin and Kibito both didn't show up. This was so weird and strange. I didn't know what was going on. But at least I got to fight my son. As I charged at Gohan charged at me, and we both started to battle each other. And Gohan wasn't as strong as this timeline, or was he? He gave up training in the main timeline. This one he never got as strong, but he still was fun to fight. As I turned Super Saiyan, he also turned Super Saiyan. Let's see how far you can go, son. He nodded as we both continued the battle. Maybe me being reincarnated changed things a lot. Maybe Babidi wasn't going to show up. But it seemed too weird. After all, everything else happened how they were supposed to, except for Trunks, but that's only because he got reincarnated. Was Babidi really not going to show up? And was Shin and Kibito not going to show up either? As we were fighting, I wasn't really focused. Gohan said, "What's wrong, Dad? Usually you're focused in a fight." I looked at him and said, "Son, does anything seem strange to you?" Gohan would look at me confused. He would say, "Strange? Strange how?" Well, anyone with like earrings, special earrings, and a guy with the red skin and a guy with like pale gray skin. Gohan said, "No. Are you feeling okay, Dad?" I would say, it's fine. I was shocked. It seemed that they weren't coming there. Shin and Kibito didn't show up, but why? Why wouldn't this happen? This doesn't make any sense. I decided to keep fighting Gohan. As I was distracted with everything that was going on, Gohan was also concerned. The battle lasted for quite a bit, but since Gohan didn't really train this much because he didn't really need to in this timeline, I was able to win as I turned Super Saiyan 2 and hit him with a Kamehameha. As Gohan fired his own Kamehameha. It was a massive clash, but I won. After that, the next match would be Vegeta versus Raditz was ready. He was ready to get revenge on Vegeta. For so long, he was his underling. For so long, he was looked down upon. But at the same time, Raditz didn't hate Vegeta anymore. Vegeta had changed. Years has passed, and Vegeta never stopped giving up on fighting. Vegeta kept on going, no matter what happened. So Vegeta was way stronger in this timeline. We all were stronger. Well, especially Nappa and Raditz, since they'll be dead in the original timeline. As Raditz got up on that stage, so did Vegeta. And Vegeta looked and said, "Are you ready to fight against the prince?" Raditz would say, "The prince. The only prince you'll be is the prince." And Vegeta would fly in and punch Raditz right before he could finish his sentence. As Raditz looked on mad, "Come on. Are you serious, you bastard? Let me insult you first." Vegeta say, "Let you say a cheesy pun or insult the great prince in some way? I'll pass on that, but thank you. I think this will be quite interesting." Raditz then got ready to fight. As Vegeta and Raditz both fought. In their base form, they were actually quite even. Even though Vegeta started out way ahead of Raditz, Raditz got ahead because of the training I put him through. Now they were even because of the intense training they put themselves through. As they pushed each other further and further into their base forms, neither one of them could defeat the other. Vegeta would smirk and say, "Not bad, Raditz. You're actually strong for a low-class runt. Raditz would look at Vegeta and say, you dare call me a runt after everything we've been through? As he turned to Super Saiyan 2. That's it, I'm taking you out right here, right now. Vegeta went into the same form. As they charged at each other, they were both even. Each hit, each punch showed how even they were. Suddenly, Raditz would charge a double Sunday, as Vegeta would charge a Gallic gun. As both the beams hit each other, suddenly, Vegeta would tap in to Super Saiyan 3, only for a split second, as the Gallic gun went straight through the double Sunday, hitting Raditz, knocking him off the edge. As Vegeta won the next match, Vegeta won, he would pull out his arm. Raditz would take it, as Vegeta lifted him up and said, good job. I had fun. Raditz would smirk and say, yeah, I did too, as they both looked at each other. Once, a long time ago, Vegeta was like a menace. He abused him and used him. Now, they're friends, comrades. As Vegeta helped Raditz up, the next match would be Piccolo versus Cell. As Piccolo got up, Cell also got up on the stage. It seemed like Cell would easily win. After all, Piccolo wouldn't get a huge boost of power until, well, you know, he fused with Kami or he wished for his potential to unlock. And since we took care of the androids, he never really needed to fuse with Kami, so he was kind of debuffed, actually. I feel bad for him, but, you know, Kami wouldn't really want to fuse. Oh well, I'll talk him into it later. After all, he only has so much long left anyway. However, I did not expect something. As Cell was fighting Piccolo, Piccolo was obviously losing. He was on the back foot. As Cell said, why don't you just jump off? Piccolo would smirk and say, no, I have a trick up my sleeve, Cell. Something that will impress you. Cell would say, ooh, and what's that? Suddenly, Piccolo would turn yellow, as I was shocked. Cell said, what the hell is this? I'm a Super Namekian, remember? A Namekian going Super Saiyan. Now I've seen everything, Cell would say as he laughed. However, I looked on in shock. Piccolo must have wished for his potential to be unlocked, but why? Is it possible he felt more threatened in this timeline? Did I change so much? Why did this happen? I was so confused, but Piccolo and Cell started the battle, and Cell was putting up one hell of a fight, but the tables were turning. Suddenly, sparks of electricity began to come over Cell as he smirked. This is like a Super Saiyan form. This is the power that I hold, Piccolo, and this is the power that you cannot defeat. As suddenly, Cell would charge a Kamehameha and hit Piccolo with it, send him flying into the sky. And as Piccolo went flying to the sky, Cell thought he won. However, Piccolo managed to chop off one of his arms, and as they hit the floor, they blasted a P-blast into his back, causing him to fall off the edge, making Piccolo the winner. As he fell down, Piccolo could barely stand. He clearly took the most damage, but he outsmarted Cell and won that way. And as Piccolo won, the next match would be Vegeta versus me. As then, we would both charge at each other and test each other's strength in our base form. And we are both impressed. I gotta say, I love being Goku, and I love this world. It seemed vibrant and, well, amazing. As we continued to battle each other, suddenly Vegeta would look at me and say, you're hiding something, aren't you? I would smirk and say, you're hiding something too. You think I couldn't tell you're using some power when you were fighting Raditz? Vegeta would say, I was trying to keep it under wraps, but if you can see through it, Vegeta would turn Super Saiyan 3, as I would turn Super Saiyan 3 also. We both began to battle each other, and we were quite even. As Vegeta shot a Gallic gun, I shot a Kamehameha. As they hit each other, we began to push further and further and further with everything we had. But I had an ace up my sleeve. However, I decided not to use it, because I was curious who would win, Vegeta or Piccolo. I kind of wanted to see how strong Piccolo was, and I was kind of getting tired of fighting. True, I was in a Saiyan body, and I liked to fight, but I like Vegeta too, and he kind of had a rough life in this one. His future son was a serial killer, he was kind of beaten up, and, well, he did kill himself to, you know, for me to become a Super Saiyan, so I would throw in the towel. Of course, I wouldn't let him know this. As I let Vegeta knock me out of the ring, I fell down and got back up. Besides, I had another reason for losing too. I wanted to keep an eye out for Bobbity or anything suspicious. As Vegeta won, he was excited. He finally did it. He finally defeated me. And the next match was Vegeta versus Piccolo. Suddenly, Vegeta and Piccolo started to fight each other. As Vegeta was enjoying himself, he turned Super Saiyan 3 as Piccolo turned yellow. Both of them seemed to clash at each other more and more and more. However, since Piccolo wasn't nearly as strong as in Super, He was having a hard time keeping up, even with his yellow form. He was even, but Vegeta just had so much ferocity, it kept him on the back foot. As Piccolo felt like he was going to get knocked off the edge, suddenly, his body would turn big and orange as he would punch Vegeta, sending him flying off, as Piccolo was the winner. I was shocked to see Babidi didn't show up, as Kami would fly down next to me and say, "You seem worried. What are you doing here? I was watching the fight the whole time." "What's wrong?" I would say, "I was expecting some bad people to show up." Kami would smile and say, "Oh, that. Well, I used the Dragon Balls and wished for anyone who's not pure heart to not be able to see Earth from space. So, they probably just passed right by." I looked and said, "Really? Yep. And I can tell you're not the real Goku, but your secret's safe with me." Kami would then walk off. As I was relieved, it seems like the wish stopped Babidi from showing up to Earth, so we just had a nice tournament. And it was fun, but I had to make a wish too now, since Piccolo is far ahead of all of us. Even my ace up the sleeve wouldn't beat him. However, it was still helpful, since my ace was, I had God Key. And that is going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video so far in the comments below. Peace out. I love you all.